Cancers, you are becoming a new attitude. So if you have not adopted a new attitude in the last 24 hours, you missed the boat. Okay? I'm going to be very harsh about this. You're not in the new era if your attitude hasn't changed. If a Cancer comes to me and doesn't say, my attitude about this has changed, I'm going to assume you're all, the role you're playing is you're representing the old way we used to be in the sovereign revolution. I think you're going to play the old version. Just fine. Play the old version. We need reminders of what we don't want to be. I personally like to be on the cutting edge. Some people like to be like holding up the back. It all depends on what your role is. One's not better than the other. I find one more exciting personally. That's me. So if you haven't become different in your attitude about things, particularly relationships, you're going to not be moving forward. At least with Washington, you'll be back hanging out with the crops in Virginia. Okay. Now that said, and I am being a little judgy here, because I think if you're following me, you came to know who you are and what your role is. So just know who you are and what your role is. We'll write home to you. But the point is that relationships are a huge issue. I cannot tell you how many times I'm still having cancers. I mean, if I have any kind of open cancer thing where I let people ask questions, it is always about relationships. It's still, you are all still stuck on that. I feel you, I understand, but also it's time to move on. Don't you agree? The astrology says your attitude is what's causing the issue with relationships. You have the wrong attitude. And in most cases, at least in the cases of people I know, the attitude is that you can change them. The attitude is that you're here for them for a lifetime, even if they act like shit. Your attitude is that, you were born to be together and you don't care about any of the signs or evidence or the fact that he's closed you out or she's closed you out and ghosted you for 5 years. You saw this attitude that you're the one. That's a mental attitude, not based on anything you're witnessing. So you must become this new attitude to be freed of your power struggles in relationships. Unless the attitude happens, I don't see it happening. Now, then the Sun of Libra means now, as you make boundaries with yourself, okay, you must incorporate the we in your boundaries with yourself. Now, this is where Cancers have blown it. Just going to be very honest. Your boundaries with yourself have often thrown yourself under the bus. I see it all the time. Oh, it's okay. I know I said I wouldn't wake up at this hour, but she needs me. Are you kidding me? It's like the idea is, in this particular sense of others, it's not that Cancers have failed to include others. It's that they didn't include themselves, is what I've seen. They didn't include their needs. They didn't include their integrity. So you, in my opinion, you're not doing wrong in society. I see you sinning against yourself. That's what I see over and over again. Or shutting out society. There are some Cancers who are like closed down like Meryl Streep and don't give you any insight into who they are. And they're in it for the eye, but they're pretending it's different. So there's some rare occasions, but I'm not attracting those Cancers. Now, that said, the I for you, Cancer, is who you are in the world, what you achieve. And so what the astrology says is Cancers have failed to include their feelings in all of their decisions. That's where you have failed to include. Your feelings are what's important. When I say consider your boundaries, it's around your feelings, protecting your feelings. Who are you with your feelings? You have failed to include how you feel about it, all right? And because you have failed to include how you feel about it, you're not making good decisions for yourself, says the I. The I's have been ironically missing the I in many cases. In other cases, not true. I've seen some Cancers just roll over the world and take command. But the universe is saying you have to be including your feelings whenever you make a decision. And so your I will be more whole if it's including the we of all your different feelings. Now, that said, just because of your feelings doesn't mean they're correct. It means that's what you're picking up on now. So incorporating does not mean to accept the way they are or to accept the status quo. I feel bad about this, so I'm going to make this decision. Well, hold on. Do you have to still feel bad? Is that something you have to harbor? Is that something you can actually bring to neutrality? So a lot of times with Cancers, it's that you have to consider your feelings. And if your feelings aren't neutral, then you're not in a place to make a decision. You're not. Can't. How can you? You're blinded by your emotion. Emotion is just a rearview mirror of how the whole soul is going. It's not the absolute. It's actually the child of the sun. The sun's light shines on the moon reflects the sun. So the moon is already just bouncing off the heart anyways to begin with. It's already a reflection. It's not your truth. Your truth is your sun, where your heart emanates, where your heart, blasts energy. So I think there's some distinctions there for Cancers as well. Now, as I mentioned, if you consider your feelings and bring them to a neutrality, Libra, you have Libra ruling your fourth house, which means a Cancer operating at the highest degree will be balanced in their emotions already. They won't come to the table, the 10th house, with an emotional disposition already super tidal wave about one thing and super vacant about the other. You must come to the table neutral to be the real I that you are and to have the impact that you want. So what this is basically saying is Cancers who don't neutralize their feelings and consider them, they will find themselves making the wrong decisions in career and not end up where they belong in their career or leaving the legacy they want because they're coming to the table with an I perspective in the first place, which is I am hurt, I'm upset, I'm this. It's like, okay. And then it would say, and so therefore you. And it's like, no. You're coming to the table without your feelings neutral. You're not ready for prime time here.